Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are we doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Mikey and welcome to this live stream. Apologies, I'm a couple of minutes late. I've had a bit of a wild morning. It's 10:30. It's 10:30. I've had a bit of a wild morning, but I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to Hellstormwargaming. Welcome to the Wednesday show where we do things a little different to normal. We do things a little differently today. We've got some interesting videos to check out, definitely, today. And just general news. Some absolute crazy shit. Absolute crazy shit is happening. So, apologies. Apologies for being late. I've got... I'll not give you the full details, but essentially, my outhouse is having its roof replaced as part of the council. Because it's fucking... asbestos, so it needs replacing, and they put they put scaffolding up 2 months ago, and now they asked me to empty it 2 months ago, and then I put all my stuff back in the shed. They phoned me this morning saying, hey, we're gonna come do your shed today, and I'm like, when? It's like, oh, we don't know, maybe sometime today. So now it's fucking pissing it down. I've been outside emptying my shed. It's full of like old washing machines and shit like that. Just shit that needs like getting rid of, or not mine or whatever. So then I had to go to B&Q to get some tarpaulin. Didn't have any there. I had to go to Wickes to get some tarpaulin. So just absolutely just shithole. The guest residence where the gardener lives. I'm fucking done. I'm so done. It's 25 to 11. I've already had enough. So yeah, it's between the hours of 9 and 5. Yeah, literally. Welcome to working with Sheffield Council. So hello. If you've just tuned in, thanks so much. If you've been up to anything, any interesting things with Warhammer for the past 2 days, do let me know. If you've seen anything interesting, do let me know as well. Really appreciate it. Is that Elliot's shed? Elliot has come out of that shed in a video once, yeah. And it turns out the roof is made of asbestos, but I guess if you're not drilling it, it's fine. Are they re-roofing your goon cave? Yes, they're re-roofing the goon cave. That's the one. That's what we're talking about. I just need to tell the entirety of my Discord that we've just gone live, so give me a moment. Give me a moment. 40k, I've just updated with the data slate stuff. Oh, shit, okay. That's good. Chat. Why is every GW staff member leaving and starting YouTube channels? That's the question today. That's the question. So 40k app updated with the new data slate. Looks like no new detachments. I'm going to still hold out hope. However, if they haven't released anything by 12, I think it's safe to say nothing's coming out. If there's no article about the band's data slate. So to catch everybody up, oh, they've just put out an article now, I think. Yeah, just put out an article now. To catch everybody up, the balanced data slate was leaked kind of early. The balanced data slate was leaked kind of early. It was leaked last Friday, rather than... It was supposed to come out today, as far as I'm aware. Now, we only got the balanced data slate, but we also got all the new pointers stuff. Basically, everything that was sent to the app early. One thing that didn't appear was Necron and Deathwatch rules for their new data sheets, whether they were coming to 40k or not. But also, no new detachments, which they said they were going to be doing every 3 months. Are they saying any PDFs with no passwords? No. So, have they clarified that? One sec. Is that a real quote? Oh, bro. Oh, bro. It's not even like, oh, we'll hold out hope. They put out an article. They put out a chosen article. Look, emerging to real space. Suddenly on Friday night, might some point temporal, blah, blah. But as a few days to consider the change the document brings to the game, we directed the Warwick Yasha Pakwire towards MSOs of the Emperor's Most Holy Desire Studio to find out a little bit more why this quarter's changes. There were no core changes this time, as we are generally happy with most systems and decided not to cause a ruckus this time. Likewise, we weren't able to supply new detachments. They weren't quite ready in time, but we intend to add more at the next update. Bro, Games Workshop are worse than YouTubers are keeping promises. Chat, Games Workshop are worse than YouTubers are keeping promises. When I said I go to the gym 3 times a week every week, what I meant was I'll go to the gym once and then order a takeaway. They've done it twice and they've already gone, actually, no, they're not ready. Josh worked hard to get the game balance. He couldn't make the new attachments. Well, they're not even made by him. You're supposed to keep promises. Yeah. Exactly. Just do a GW. Just do it twice and then never... Say you're going to release a video every week and then don't bother fucking a week later. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, it was late. Surely this just means Grotmas 2.0. Yeah, that's it. Are they going... Well, it's too close to Grotmas now. And also, no core changes. Where the fuck are my challenger cards, bro? where my fucking challenger cards? Slop channel be like, never promised every day. I have been pretty consistent with the slop channel though. The second channel. Excuse me, never promised every day. I said I was hoping for every day. That's not a promise. That is a thought. A thought at best. It's not a promise. Thank you. This is like my dad who promised to visit after the divorce and never came back. Where are my detachments? Wait, has there no Deathwatch update either? I can't buy Deathwatch, but I also can't fucking use them. There's no fucking Deathwatch update either. Where's my Deathwatch data sheet? Where the fuck is my Deathwatch data sheet? GW hiring for a 40k game developer. Maybe that's the new detachment mod you should apply. Everybody gets more Daka because it'll be funny. And I can just roll my eyes when people say it's broken. That's what I should do, right? That's what I should do. The most important change, athletes in play feedback, we feel like challenging cards are not needed in competitive environment and presence with room and from tournament play. I mean, that is a pretty core change. I still think this is wrong, but everybody in my comment section was like, everyone liked them, so you had to defend them. That's the response I had to my video, which I think is fucking ridiculous. Mikey, you don't like... Everyone else doesn't like them, allegedly. So you have to defend them because you just want to be controversial. Skill levels being played in is not the same at tournaments. Yeah. I think it's really dumb. I've already said it. I've already made a video about it. I do think it's really dumb. And then it's just going over it, which we've already done, really. You know what I mean? It's just giving a... This is the article that's supposed to go out on the day. Why you like this, Mikey? Sorry for having an opinion that doesn't line up with fucking Art of War or whoever else on Reddit. You know? Sorry for having an opinion that's different. Imagine. No, step in line.
Rejoined.
Step in line, sheep.
Celebrates 4 months of membership. Are they gonna hire you as a goon consultant?
They should do. Thank you for the 4 months, Puddle. Really appreciate it. You can be like Puddle and be a goon consultant for as little as £1.99. GD will burn the rules down over the next year so they can rebuild them back up for 11th edition. Yeah, they always do that. So yeah, so there's been no detachments, which they promised every 3 months, which they just did twice and then didn't bother. And then there's no updates to the downloads. So there's no Deathwatch, there's no Necrons, there's no other changes. Mikey's a shepherd guiding the sheep down the right path. I just like to stand up, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's that mean with the guy stood up? You know what I mean? What's that mean when the guy stood up? Guy stands up meme. Oh, it turned out that was it. Norman Rockwell. Norman Rockwell's oh my god, fucking let me through. I can't go in the New York Times to look at a meme because we live in capitalist society. I was trying to show this image. Me, I don't think challenger cards were a problem. Me with my challenger cards. You know? I should just put this as the thumbnail. The graphic design studio was too busy making memes about management to do the detachment. I don't know if that's a meme or it's an accusation. People keep calling it meme, and I'm like, I don't think that's a meme, bro. I think that's an accusation. Surprised on the usual YouTube channels, it leagues are not ready detachment. Yeah, literally, that's all they fucking do. Who's they, Mikey? My title fucking cry meme cry out like my title got people fucking worked up. Worked up. Who's they? Right, we've seen loads of people leaving GW, right? We've seen loads of people leaving GW recently. We've seen the influencer managers leaving. We've seen the White Dwarf consultant editor, managing editor leaving. We've also had game designers leaving. And the last one's quite interesting because it's me, Josh. By the way, I know you, Josh. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. We covered your Instagram post, and yeah, I'm sorry you got loads of hate for it, but I hope you're doing well. Don't forget the guy with the short YouTube vids from the warehouse. Yeah, the guy was part of the Romanian gang warfare has left GW, which is very, very important. Leaving or being leaved. Yeah, some of them were being laid off, you know, but I think one of them wasn't, you know. So one of them was Sam Pearson, I think his name is, who started his own channel called an SPGD, Sam Pearson Games Design. And he's done a video about game design, but also about like Warcry, working on 40k and Age of Sigmar and stuff. So I think this is quite interesting, quite an interesting one. I think we're gonna watch it. We'll do a reaction. Every time he says Games Workshop, I'm like, I know that one. I know that one. So that's what I'm referring to when I talk about people leaving. Is in more people, and now they're starting their own YouTube channel. Don't let Magoo know you're reacting to a video. If you complain, they're gonna mod in. I think mods. I think to be a mod in the Hellstorm channel, you have to be obsessed with me and think everything I do is super cool. Ash, wait, what's happening to my TV behind me? Right, I'm just gonna fix my very real fireplace. One sec. One sec. That's never happened before. What the fuck? Was it working before, chat? Why are you not doing anything? I give up. That's all I got. That's all I got, chat. Ignore that. Ignore that. But that never happened. There are many warehouse gangs chasing him off, presumably. Yeah, I wonder, did he do anything else? If there's another update from him, we're watching that first. If there's another update from him, we're watching that first. Okay? Mini Madcap. It was hilarious. So he had leaving the country, painting miniatures on a trade, part 4, PMAO, painting miniatures on a train. Chat, this is way more important than anything I could react to today.
Painting miniatures on a train, yeah. This is it.
Chat. Painting miniatures on a train, yeah. Miniatures. Sorry. Anyway. It's spelled right in the title, so that's the main thing.
Welcome to the most recent installment of the long-awaited return of painting miniatures on a train. The series I devised to create some hobby time for people on YouTube with a locomotive twist. I'm hoping to revive the series by both taking trains abroad and booking longer journeys in the UK with a seat reservation.
With a seat reservation? Bro hasn't even booked a seat with a table. Bro's not even booked a seat with a table. I'm viscerally unhappy if I worked on a train and called someone painting miniatures. I'm viscerally unhappy if I'm like trying to go to work and there's a guy fucking there with his water pot.
Because getting a seat on a train in the UK has become a bit like those Black Friday events you used to see a few years back in the news, except just a polite version. Birmingham to Euston is this, our first leg of the journey. Taking trains to Ibiza from Derby, travelling via Eurostar to Paris.
Oh, is it someone's way? Oh, is it someone's way trying to get his minis out of your suitcase? Oh my god, it's already we're 1 minute in, it's already a disaster.
From Paris to Toulouse-Matabiau, then to Narbonne to Perpignan, Perpignan to Port-Beau, with the final outgoing train journey from there
What's with the
to
lighting?
Barcelona-Sants.
I feel like I'm in a weird nightclub.
The final part of the journey would be by overnight.
This is me. This is what I'd see when I'm like trying to call a taxi after I'm like half quarter 4 in the morning and everything's just blue and really loud and I can just hear voices in my head. And I can't see anything because everything's like extremely blue. So there's no contrast or anything. I'm just like, where's my phone? I'm just like, please taxi. How do I call an Uber again?
Night ferry from the port in Barcelona.
It's anti-drug lights. Can't see veins in your blue light.
Unfortunately, I started the journey with some unforeseen issues I would have to resolve on the way. One of these was my phone battery life and charger situation.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He can't charge his phone.
Phone was failing to bring the clamp that attaches to my phone to my clamp stand.
Oh god.
Purpose?
He's like talking. He's left the audio on in the background, but quietened it down enough we can't hear it.
To meet up with my somewhat recently reconciled cousins and their young family in Ibiza, the family soul home away from home. Of course, I could have travelled by plane for much less.
His box won't even go back in his
suitcase. That wouldn't have allowed
suitcase.
for much painting. I discussed the possibilities on stream at twitch.tv/beyond the box art. But we've decided
I'm just like fascinated at the thought process, to be honest.
that there was no way they'd let me on board with all the necessary paint bottles and brushes, as it might be deemed either hazardous or simply be logistically impossible. The fold-down table.
If I get on a train and someone's blocking the Maggie Jerry and fanning with the hero quest box, I'm going to throw hands. No, let's be honest. If you see someone fanning about in the hero quest box, you'd be like, that's cool, bro. I would be. I'd be like, yo, that's pretty sick, actually. What are you doing? And they'd be like, yo, you painting miniatures on a train? That's actually crazy. I'm going to go sit in my seat now. You know what I mean? I feel like it'd be like, ooh, bang, you know? Mildly curious, bang, gone. No, don't do that. Guy needs a Mikey-style chest cap. It's true.
Tables on planes are
It's good. It would have worked
extremely
great.
limited.
He wouldn't have needed a clamp. He could have just sat there, painting away. Sorted.
Even in comparison.
So what I mean is I'm going to disapprovingly at them and then say nothing. True.
Limited table space on most trains in the UK.
Oh my god, look how much space he's taking.
And there's been a longing for the return of peanuts.
What has he got? How many different pouches has he got here?
Right? Which makes me laugh and smile. A series that's designed for you to make a space in your day for some hobby time, and so I can travel a little more. The idea is...
He's got primer. Has he got an airbrush? Is he got an air? Do you imagine he pulls out one of the fucking USB powered airbrushes? Oh my god. That would be the funniest shit. That would be the funniest shit I've ever seen if he pulls out one of them fucking USB battery rechargeable airbrushes that's priming minis. You sound so hush with that outburst. How many? How much? That's first class. Yeah, it's fucking hell. Bro's got money.
Is if I can paint a miniature on a train in a time of each journey...
Just me, my cup, and my 3 wet pallets.
then you also can get a miniature done at home in this time too.
How big's his table?
It's meant to display what little space and time
Chat,
you really
I've never
need
been on
to
first
set
class,
up
can
your
you
paint
tell?
area and the value.
Can you tell? I've never been on first class. You see how much table space he's got? He's got his phone on it somehow, and he's managed to put his teapot out of the way. I was on a train the other day, and there was so little room, they chucked the coffee at me rather than put it on a table. They chucked it down my shoulder and onto my leg. God.
Of one of the key facets of the miniature painting skill set.
Thatcher's Britain ruined this country.
You can be sat at a desk, stood up, or
Is that his water pot? That's pretty beast, actually.
in transport of various kinds with varying amounts of movement.
Watch it, he'd be like, oh shit, I didn't change it. Oh shit, I didn't change the water. Fuck, what am I going to do? Did you see me like hesitated? He was like, I got a brush here. Got my, don't worry, chat, got my props ready. He's gone, oh fuck, I didn't change my water and it's from 3 weeks ago. And it's green at the top.
Wherever you're painting, you should look for 4 points of stability to prevent shaky hands. Number 1.
I've got 2 arms! That's all I'm getting. That's it. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop.
Feet
pausing.
on the ground. Number 2. Elbows supported.
Feet on the ground count. Head on table. Just like 4 points of contact. Right, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now, chat? Sorry. This is like a car crash you can't look away from.
Armrests. Tuck those elbows into your sides. Number 3.
Is all the water in there as well? How many pots of... I'm sorry, I'm so confused. Pot of water. Totally. Another pot of water? and then an extra pot of water just in case. How much water? This is, imagine, you know, there's a little bit of like, I don't know, a rock on the track and it wobbles a little bit. He's fucked it. He's going to be drenched.
Rest your wrists down in front of you on a surface that's stationary in relation to your seat. And finally,
what's he got?
4,
No!
plant your painting pingy
Oh, that's the primer.
Plant your painting pingy. Oh, wow, okay.
You know, like sometimes I joke and slip words up and it is funny, but it's like when you're just doing it exclusively voiceover.
Number 4, plant your painting pinky finger somewhere comfortably on your model holder, holding hand or the model to paint a controlled distance and position. Okay, I'm going to have to do this one again. Number 4, plant your painting pinky finger somewhere comfortable.
Is that
on your
water
model
everywhere?
holder,
What's he doing?
holding hand or the model to maintain a controlled distance and position for your precision brush strokes. These 4 points of stability will, even when you're painting on
This is wild, bro.
a boat, a plane, a train, and of course, at home or in your hobby space, help you do sharp edge highlights and eyeballs.
He said all that while smashing paint directly from a pot onto a model with a gigantic brush. He said all that. He said all of that about being support, pinkies, feet, arms tucked in, pinky on model holders, and then just went. I was like, calm, collected.
So, P-Mode, Adventures Abroad. As I mentioned earlier, I came unprepared for the journey in respect to the new phone I'd had to buy, as my old one's microphone had died. Its battery life wasn't as good as I hoped. I'd also forgotten...
I mean, I know this isn't the point, but I do think this is a hilarious video. I don't know if that was his intention. I do think this video is very funny. Just all of the reasons he probably didn't expect.
the phone clamp part of my camera clamp.
I'd be livid if I walked past asking for tickets to be checked and this dude slap shopping everywhere. He's like, sorry, let me just put my speed paints away. Or whatever. Sorry, don't let me, I want to put my null oil lid on before you check my ticket, sorry.
I'd fixed the lack of camera clamp first thing in Birmingham before my train out departed. I almost could have left my luggage there with
There's that water all over the table.
Hero Quest in it, but the guy from Wex Photo and Video on Hagley Road who'd served me came running out and made sure that didn't happen. I'd like to think I'd have realised moments before getting in the
Did he not think all of this stuff like one roll of kitchen roll, one piece of kitchen roll, you know what I mean?
taxi, but I have a terrible tendency to occasionally leave things behind without extreme vigilance.
Oh, imagine he just leaves. He leaves all these shit there. Oh, imagine that'd be so funny.
I'm a little bit ashamed.
It's like you just go sit your seat. There's a fucking full painting cell. You're like, oh, I'm fucking got out to get away from this.
I suppose. So phone clamp resolved and Hero Quest safely back in tow, returning to the battery issue. I decided to buy a power bank as soon as I arrived in London to resolve this issue and picked up a Belkin battery brick when I arrived.
Fuck me. Yeah, I do actually think that. I put my stability process in memes. Fucking hell.
In Euston on my way on foot to get the Eurostar from
6 minutes in and 3 minutes of it has been wiping the fucking paint off the table.
Pancras. It came with near a full charge. But it wouldn't charge my new phone for some reason. Because of changes at future...
I think, jokes aside, I know people have said he sounds dull. I think he's got an excellent voiceover voice. I think it's really good because people who like ASMR shit will love this type of voice. It's just what's happening on screen that is the issue.
Stops of the journey being short, this had a real effect on my ability to take footage on the way there. That and the long journeys outward would be overnighters. And I needed daylight because I'd also forgotten to bring my mighty sight magnifying glasses.
Oh my god, if I walk past the guy who's painting miniatures with the fucking virgin magnifying glasses on, oh my god, I'd flip my shit. I'd be in hysterics. Imagine fucking there with the fucking goggles on. No, how is this real? How is this real? Oh my god! Fucking magnifying glasses. His voice is nice, but it's a video about mini painting and trying not how well his phone is holding up. Yeah, bro. You reckon there's a coffee lady there points an Americano to spell? This is first class, clearly. No, that doesn't happen in first class.
Have 2 LEDs on the side.
Kids, please. Yes, of course. Here's mine. Trying to work out how far away she is.
Once I got an official Samsung charger cable near a week later in Barcelona on the way back, the problem resolved itself.
He's not doing bad, this kid, is he?
Later on, I started to encounter storage and space issues on my phone. Now, despite all the other bits of unpreparedness...
What's he spilt now? He's spilt something else.
I had thought about this, but I hadn't researched it, and had brought with me a Samsung portable SSD. Unfortunately, to transfer files across from this to free up space on my phone for more recordings, I found out I'd need a laptop or a specialized cable. But that's a story for later on in the series, when it comes up and when we have to deal with it.
Like,
for now,
what has he got on the table that he's this much scrubbing, you know? How is this guy so unprepared for life with no charger cable and never any time to finish a thought on a video, but has an entire hobby set up on the train? He's 100% got pen on that table. Dude's panicking.
now, space wasn't the issue.
Why is he using the tiniest bit of kitchen roll? If you got... Oh my god. I'm fucking losing my shit. Oh my god.
Thankfully, once it was resolved in Barcelona on the return journey, I was able to get good footage on most of the...
I thought he was going to London. He's mentioned Barcelona 17 times.
Trains travelling back. And we ended up on different routes with a bonus journey too at the end.
I keep thinking someone's talking to me. He's got the weird... He's got like the train announcer really quietly.
Yeah. Suffice to say, this being my first foray from this fine land travelling alone, not including the once or twice I'd taken a plane alone to meet up with people. It was a great
brush,
informative...
I bet that brush is even more fucked. It was already bad. He's left it in there for 20 minutes while he's been cleaning up.
learning experience.
Next up, building minis on a train, and it's going hands and knees as parts spring up into nowhere. Right, this is actually really funny because when I was in Japan, I don't know if you know, I've been to Japan, really cool place. Go again, I highly recommend it. I got a Gachapon Godzilla. Okay, so Gachapon, the little fucking pop-out toy things. I got a little Gachapon Godzilla, right? And on the way home, we flew from Japan to Beijing, and then we had like a 3-hour layover, okay? So then in the 3-hour layover, I'm really fucking bored. It's like 2 in the morning. And I open my gachapon and build my little Godzilla, right? And he's so cool. He's like this big. He's cool. And I'm like, this is a really cool little thing. Anyway, I put him in my bag to go get on my flight later, okay? On the flight, I pull out not what else but my Japanese games console, the Nintendo Switch, from my bag, okay? And I'd realised I'd put Godzilla in with my Nintendo Switch. So I pulled out my Nintendo Switch, and Godzilla, it was like he got punched by King Kong, and he's like, no, from the bag, from the thing, landed on someone's lap. Not mine, not Georgie's, another person's. However, as he hit this person on the lap, he like exploded because he's like a push together toy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And it's like 3 hours into the flight. It's like 5 in the morning local. It's really early, and I'm throwing Godzilla at people. I'm throwing Godzilla at people, and then I'm like, oh fuck, he's in pieces. So I look around, I grab his body, grab his head. I'm like, excuse me, sorry, madam. Grab his arm. No tail. No tail. I'm there on the floor, hands and knees. I'm like Velma wearing my glasses, but looking for the tail. Did she make the raw sound? Actually, yeah, I felt really awkward. So what I did was, I was like, rawr, that's my Godzilla. That's what I said. I was like, rawr, sorry, that's my Godzilla. That's how Mikey made it. Can you imagine Judge's face? And I'm there just like, excuse me, sorry. My glasses! Where's my Godzilla tail? My Godzilla tail! Where's my Godzilla? So yeah, I threw away the Godzilla because he's missed the tail. Georgie really just regretted saying, yeah, she was fast off, I think. If I remember correctly. I told her about it. I can't remember. I think she kind of woke up when I sat back down. I was like, drop my Godzilla on the person behind us. Hello, I'm a grown man. I've misplaced my Godzilla. They saw the Godzilla. It was in their fucking lap. It was the tail that was the problem. The tail's still on that flight. Air China, living the high life, flying back to China in the UK over and over. Anyway, I love Gachapon. It's so cool. Highly recommend. Mikey, check out Trainline for how expensive it is to get from Barcelona compared to flying. That's actually not a bad idea. Should I put Nottingham? The Barcelona train. Fine, cheap train tickets. No! Stop it! Nottingham. Barcelona. Any. Return. Let's go. We're not going to return that quickly. Return. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll come back in 3 days. We'll not be ridiculous. One adult. Why is it red? Why is it red? What's happening? Is Nottingham not a real train? Should I put London? That worked. £300! 300! Train like UK trains are having a laugh. Yeah. £300? Is that one way? No, that's a return. 300 to spill paint on your table. I presume that's what plus is. Is plus first class? I don't fucking know. I ain't no Tory shit. I don't know what this is. Sky Scanner. Each way, 500 quid to go to Barcelona. Right, Nottingham. East Midlands. Barkey. Fucking the green one, and we'll turn in the green one. Why not? I'm going to Barcelona. Fucking show my age now. It's £57 to fly. You have 4.5 hours of painting time. Dude could just buy an Imperial Fist Army and a car and save loads of money. I'm going to fucking Barcelona. Japan's fucking expensive compared to this shit. Fuck me. 57 quid. Are you joking? Hell yeah. Let's go, chat. Send some super chats. Come on. All you great names become a member. I'm going to Barcelona. Let's go. Let's go. That's a return. It's a return. £57 return. £24 hours and £700 or 4 hours and 60 quid. 57. 57. Let's not round it up. It's a good deal.
We made some friends along the way, took last-minute unexpected changes of plans, ran for trains with strangers, and high-fived when we managed to board them in time. But I'll leave each story for the respective leg of the journey.
Is he now priming this mini? So he spent 15 minutes cleaning the table because he got paint on it, and now he's got like a wet piece of paper towel to stop it.
An episode of the series. As per my last video, I took Hero Quest with me, as you've seen. I picked it off the top of my pile of potential.
Bro, we had fucking 17 minutes of you in fucking blue light trying not to do drugs, finding it, and we know what you're painting.
Thinking, this will be perfect.
How long until
and I couldn't have been more accurate.
Pope. Hellstorm Poap. I'm going to Japan soon. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll take minis to paint on a train.
I hadn't even taken the cellophane off it, so when I did and found out the miniatures come all built in a tray, each with their own smooth vacuum-formed slot for safe storage with a tight-fitting lid, I was very happy with my choice.
Hellstorm painting Godzilla on a plane with tutorial. I fucking love that Godzilla. Me and that Godzilla at 3 in the morning in Beijing. What's up, Beijing? We had a great time, okay? We had a fucking sick time. You should try it. You should try it. Live a little more whimsy, chat. How about that? Live a bit more whimsy. Get yourself a little Godzilla toy, all right? All right? Get a little Godzilla. Enjoy yourself. I feel like you're skipping over the fact that he just said, I bought this box and did zero planning, hadn't even opened it, didn't know what was in it. All I could think was, is the Hero Quest. I have it up there, right? The Hero Quest minis are really nice. They are also extremely covered in mold lines. They're like crazy covered in mold lines. Just watched a Gundam-based London tour. Nice you got into it. Thank you, G4. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping by. Today, I'm laughing at weird videos on the internet, so you're just tuning in. Just tuning in a good time. You should try and live stream a game of Combat Patrol on the train from Sheffield to London. So, when I made Tiny Horus Heresy 3 years ago, whatever, or 2 years ago, whatever it was, I was planning on taking it on a train to play a game. I just didn't have time for when I wanted to put the video out. But that was always the plan. I was going to take that board on a train and play a game. But then I was like, this is too big. I was like, you know what? In all honesty, maybe a bit too big. It's not quite the like A4 chessboard type game that you can go and play on a train. You know what I mean? It was a little large because I just shrunk it to centimeters, not to like A4. But would it be funny? Because you don't get your calendar to work with this guy. He could paint my minis for the game on the train. Imagine. Just kidding. I can't afford first class like this fucker.
This design would help to ensure no paintwork got damaged, and each model would be on display at a glance, so no leaving anything behind. So long as I didn't leave my luggage at a camera shop somewhere by accident, that is. Anyway, furthermore, I also thought...
What's weird is he kind of says something, and then there's a pause, and then there's like a follow-up joke, and that is weird. You know what I mean? That is strange. By the way, a Philippines fan, so yeah, I heard your comments in saying you're touristy, and honestly, it's okay. Just like keeping your pace and just enjoy. I watched nearly main story for like 1 to 2 years. Yeah, I've been trying to get into Gundam. I've watched like 3 seasons now. I've watched the original season, the very first season, Mobile Suit Gundam. I've watched the Netflix season. I've watched G-Quox. And then I talked to other Gunplay content creators like, yeah, I've watched G-Quox and I've watched Wing, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you've watched the same as me. Cool. So I've started watching Seed now, and it is pretty sick. But I'm only like 5 episodes in.
It would probably be the perfect game for my 6-year-old nephew. And the rest of my family from the States. And I was right about that too.
New law? Family in the States? What the fuck?
It helped to teach him maths, from counting his dice rolls and his movement, literacy from the cards. He was...
Wait, I might have to turn this video off. Did he just do what I think he did?
From the States. And I was right about that too. It helped to teach him maths, from counting...
Right, watch the spoon. Chat, watch the spoon.
Counting his dice rolls and his movement, literacy from the...
Chat, did that spoon just go in his mouth? Chat, did that spoon... Why is he putting the spoon through his teeth in his mouth? I don't know why, but I find that extremely gross. It's a teaspoon! 100% he sucked on the spoon. Bro's getting his money's worth. Wait, is that AI? No, it's not AI, no. He's just a weird person. Just a weird person. Can't clean the teaspoon with any tissue because they're also gonna paint water on his table. Fuck me. Oh my god. The brush like a hypocrisy. It's my fucking brush. My fucking public. I don't get a little coffee from Starbucks and then go like the fucking nice. He's one of those, it's got no tea on it, so it's clean. Chat, I don't know if you can watch this. It's 40 minutes long, this video, by the way.
Cards. He was especially interested in trying to read the broadsword card, naturally.
Wait, no! Even worse! Even worse! He's using the spoon to clear mold lines!
Because it's the best weapon in the game. Writing out of necessity of his character sheet, and most especially, patience. From waiting to take his...
He's using the spoon to clean the mold lines I just mentioned! A spoon!
Turn. The game says 14 years and up, so he did outstandingly well. And it was...
How is this spoon? I'm just so confused. Oh, I'm so confused.
Went down a storm. The next episode will pick up from somewhere like Toulouse-Matabia and take us, I think it's Toulouse-Matabio, sorry. Trying to get the pronunciations right. And it'll take us to midnight on the ferry. So all the way through to Barcelona. And
I can't watch any more of this. This is a car crash. This is a train crash. It's 40 minutes. It's 40 minutes long and I'm just so confused. You have to get to the point where he does anything beyond priming. Mikey, this is the most triggering content you've ever shown us. I'm just weirded out, I think. I'm just weirded out. I might skip forward because I can't watch him fucking scraping with a spoon for any longer. He's doing it for a good 10 minutes. Right, what are we doing
Painted
now?
model, it was passable. As a finished piece later on, done without magnification away from the studio, I was over the moon with its final outcome.
It's primed white.
It's probably the best paint job of all of the trip.
He's still priming. Fucking hell, look at the shaker there. Get your 4 levels of support, mate! You're gonna what? You're gonna miss! Fucking, this looks like my worst night. Imagine trying to paint a mini. I'm there. I put out my little short yesterday of like painting Warhammer like gunplay. Imagine I was doing it, but I was like this when I was doing it. Painting Warhammer like it's gunplay. Let me just very gently put in the panel liner. Oh, look at that! Isn't that very nice? Is this the guy, the human trafficking guy? Yes, yes, it is. I was hoping for an update, and then I found theirs. Right, okay. I think we've primed them all. That brush is still in the... He's still cleaning the table. Is this the entire journey? No cuts, no nothing? Like, what? It's water on the table, right? What's he getting off the table? What were you painting in that short? I was painting in Pure Night. It's in Pure Night armor panels for a video. It's coming out hopefully this weekend. Oh, we got a cut. What we got? Do you think that's a white dwarf? I'm trying to work out what magazine it is. It's very blurry. Oh. Green Software magazine! Thieves! 30 seconds of this. Sorry, chat. Just sign the live stream. 1 second. Sorry, chat. 1 second. 1 second. Nearly ready. Imagine me starting a sheet like this. 1 second, chat. Nearly ready. Nearly ready. Cool. Okay, I actually need to fix this now. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. You know, a little goal in there. That one. I know I can't remember. I'm not sure if you saw Rogue Hobby's work. Sorry, I forgot the name of who painted the 144mm showers. But yeah, I did see. I know Louise personally. She's a really nice person. Thing is, I'll admit she's the first to do it in modern time. Yeah, not many people paint those up, but I've got a little Amaro in my master grade RX-78, so I might paint him. Right, anyone played Sims? Anyone remember Sims 1? The first one? My camera is so fucking wonky now. It's so annoying. It's so loose and it keeps just like drifting. There we go. Sims 1, do you know where you're going kind of like build mode but with unlimited money? That's the music that's playing. Imagine it. Right? See if you can find it. Sims 1 build song. It's the same. It's the same song. It's the same song. Claps. Fuck me. 2008. 2008. When did The Sims come out? The Sims. If slow down. Can we do slow down? Same song. Does he just stop talking now? No crazy stories. What's he doing? What's he doing now? What's he got there? What's he got there? What's he doing? Is he still priming? What is it? Is it? I can't see what it is. Show me. Show me what it is. Is it a speed paint? Oh, it's a brown paint. Okay. Okay. I don't think he's... So I think he spoke for the first 10 minutes and gave up. This is worse than a Hellstorm painting stream. What the fuck do you mean by that? What the fuck do you mean by that? My whole TV setup is so I can actually see what's on camera now. It's so good. I've been filming, and for once, the fucking model's actually on camera. Wait, someone's going around with coffee. You're not going to tell me there's an interaction. I need to see the interaction. Why has he not got a painting handle? His fucking number one rule. His number one rule was to like put your fucking mini little finger on your painting handle. Where's his handle? Can he just say in a wash?
A beer would actually be lovely.
A beer?
Do they include the first class? Yeah, you get high as well. Yeah, I'd love a beer.
It's on watching it on video. Then he was like, actually, can I only have a beer if it's free? Because I paid for it. Bro! Can I have a beer if it's free?
Did you have a craft one on today? I've got a craft one on. Yeah, that'll be grand. It's not too, if it's not too dark and strong, it'll definitely do. I'll go for it. Although my reservation is actually that one. I moved.
He's not even sat in his own seat! He's not even sat in his own seat, chat! He's painting, getting paint all over his table, and it's not even his seat. He moved. I'm so mad.
It's like 10 minutes left of this journey.
Okay.
We're going to start in the next mob. But, and these aren't finished. I will do some lining on them.
It's wet though.
But, looking alright. can't see it because of the glare of the window.
I can see fine. It looks like you've put speed paint on it. It looks like you smashed it in contrast paint. He's saying something, I can't understand it because the music's way too loud. He's only got 10 minutes, how is he painting another one? It won't dry in 10 minutes. It takes 30 minutes to dry.
It was left to me to contact the lion's share of his friends and remaining family to invite them to his funeral and wake.
Missed that context. Missed the context for that one. What the fuck? Why is he painting on a train? This is a series he's got for some reason.
My father, Peter, had fallen out with my cousin, his niece, Emma, over what he had always portrayed as money-related. For now, I'll hold off on all of this story, and I'll give you little bits at the end.
I don't think
of
that's
each
a story.
episode.
I don't think I want to know, mate. I mean, he's clearly using it as an outlet, which is cool.
But with my father passed, many fond memories of my cousin remained, and a strong desire to rekindle the relationship.
So I think the lore is that he didn't talk to his cousin because of his father. His father's passed away, and now they're trying to rekindle the relationship. So he's going on a train to see them in Barcelona, but also has family in the States. I think that's the lore of this story. I think that's the lore of this story.
Relationship was irresistible. I invited her, and she came, very short notice from California in the USA, with her beautiful young family, and every moment we got, we were together in mourning and also joyous reunion. With half a lifetime of stories to catch up on, it was very much a case of too little time to hang out. And on their departure home, they suggested we meet up in Ibiza. Say that right, sometime in late July, mid-August. For me,
What's he going to do with
I
all
knew
that?
I had to be
What's he
there.
going to do with all that?
And I'm so glad that I did manage it. I've got so many little stories to tell from it, but most of all, I've got my cousin back in my life. And we all got to play Hero Quest together. Okay, yeah. Hidden stories at the ends of each episode. That's happening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to put a comment down below if you've managed to stay till the end. And I'll see you on the next one. Soon.
I mean, he leaves it all on the table. He is forgetful. He is forgetful.
Bad cat out.
Why is his music so loud when he's trying to talk to the camera? Can you have a beer at 8:30? Wait a minute. Chat, it's fucking 5 to 9 and he was asking for a beer. It's 5 to 9, he was asking for a fucking mad one. A dark beer? Dude's talking like he's a serial killer and the FBI found his recordings. Nah, I'd be like, I am a killer who also painted on trains, according to the fucking latest one. According to the latest one with fucking Tyler Robinson, Jesus Christ. Do you remember the bullet casings I was in carving? I used them to kill someone. I said to my friend in a text. This video should be called Therapy. Like, what a fucking wild video, bro. What a fucking wild video. I want an update to the Romanian gangs. Oh god, there's a follow-up. Hero Quest goes to Ibiza. Look at the fucking autoplay. If he's a fucking club and he pulls out a mini, this is the most goated content creator I've ever watched. Chat, if he pulls out a fucking speed contrast paint and a brush at this fucking club. Wait, this isn't first class. Excuse me, this isn't first class. This is not suitable for my painting needs.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Painting Miniatures on a Train. Episode 5. We moved from Positania to Ibiza and back to Barcelona.
It's the music, and then like the backing track of him talking, but not loud enough where I can understand it, and then him talking over the top.
In this episode. I expected that we would only go as far as the ferry and stop at midnight, but that turned out to be
He's a nightclub engine rhino as a wet palette. Fuck me.
about 12 minutes of footage, and that's not enough time for you to sit down and enjoy an episode of Painting Miniatures on a Train and paint a miniature or do something with your hobby. So instead,
I'm not going to listen to the monotone. I want to see if he paints at the nightclub.
as I'm about to go over to Ibiza on the ferry, but on our return back the next weekend, it turns out to be the best. Look at that. Amazing. Doesn't really do it justice even, that site. Anyway, on the return journey, I arrived in a taxi very early in the morning.
Why would you put this picture on?
It was my cousin's
Why would you
anniversary,
put this picture on?
their 11th, I want to say, anniversary. They'd stayed up all night and they'd gotten a...
I'm not saying anything, all right? We're just going to move past the picture.
nanny to take care of the kids. So I had to jump the gate and the fence to this villa and walk up ungreeted and arrive at the swimming pool, and the nanny was there sort of like even the flight path times or something for the local airport, because he managed to drop 3 brakes with an airplane coming overhead, and I don't think that he could have
Right, chat, I don't see minis.
done that without knowing. It was amazing if he did that without knowing, but it's amazing if he did it with knowing, really.
I don't see any minis.
It was a great night. And we went on to the biggest club in Ibiza that holds 10,000 people after going here. Which is this. This is a 10,000 person club. This is the main room where we spent a good couple of hours of the night. And
there's fucking the only minis is the one with his fucking cousin or whoever with his top off.
Which, you know, was in the
That's
doorway.
it. He painted that on a train. That is pretty sick, to be fair. But I'm just so confused. I'm just gonna leave this now. That is such the fucking weirdest video ever. I'm finding his monotone voice easier to listen to than Mikey's. Imagine having any tone in your voice. Hello, my name is Mikey, and welcome to Hellstormwargaming. Welcome. I hope you are doing well. Sorry. I hope you are doing well, and I am really glad that you've tuned into this live stream, because not many people do. Is that you prefer? Is that what you want me to talk like? Everyone like his videos. He's seen more painting on a train. The first one was actually fire. The first one was fire, bro. It's not on a train, so it's not the same. Sorry. Chugga 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 chugga. Welcome to Hellstormwargaming. Chugga 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 chugga. Oh, much better. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Right. That was a fucking tangent and a half. Here we are. Hour into the stream. Oh my god. I have no idea what was. I'm still confused. My brain is just like, what have you just watched? You know what I mean? I feel like I've been in bed watching TikToks for 3 hours and I'm just like not quite sure. I'm sure I watched something, but nothing of note. Asking to do a live stream on a train. Painting minis on a train live. Pull them out. I feel like the second video has lost a lot compared to the first. Enough boring stuff like night guns and more sitting on a train getting paint on the table. Yeah, literally. Licking the spoon, then using it on more lines as wild. It was certainly a choice. Did you have GW Plays Leave and start a YouTube channel on Bingo? I don't think I did. I don't think I did, but I will get onto it now. Chat, a few people have been leaving or being laid off from Games Workshop. But one of them is the designer of Warcry and Spearhead. You know? One of them is Warcry and Spearhead. So let's have a look, because there's a guy called Sam Pearson who designed Warcry Spearhead who just made a new channel called SPGD. This is what we're supposed to look at anyway. I just realised there's a small chance since he paid like a lot this video he made on the train somehow randomly repaid his ticket later on. What do you mean? Sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Sam here. Welcome to my YouTube channel, SPGD.
So he's XGW.
Alright, this is a quick video to kick the channel off. I wanted to serve as an introduction to myself and as a primer to the channel as well. So who am I? My name is Sam Pearson, and up until recently I was working in the Warhammer design studio at Games Workshop. I worked there for around 7.5 years, predominantly as a games designer, but also as a product developer towards the end of my time there. I got to work on Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar and Warcry most notably. As you might...
I'm surprised he's not, you know, I was going to make a really bad joke then, but it's probably too soon. I'm surprised he's not been told off for this already. I'm surprised this hasn't been, like, taken down. Yo! Papaya Pariah, dude! Dude, thank you for the 17 months at our highest tier! Holy shit!
Papaya Pariah celebrates 17 months
Might
of
imagine.
membership.
Papaya Pariah.
And a half.
Papa, yeah, Pariah, thank you for the 17 months, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit, buddy. Appreciate you. What a fucking legend. Be like Papaya Pariah, become a member today. And maybe you can get 18 months. Maybe you can get 18 months before him. Good luck. Thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate you. What a fucking legend. Absolute boy. He literally single-handedly pays my rent at this point. Papaya basically pays my rent, so thank you, dude.
It was pretty much the best job in the world. I got to spend my day working on games about goblins and spacemen. What more could you want? So this is my channel and it's focused...
When are you going to add a painting on a train tier? Fuck me. But more importantly, who did he fight in the car park? Well, I don't think we need to guess who he fought in the car park. If anyone did fight in the car park, I feel like Marius Calgar might have told us everything. I do go by Papa Yao when sometimes we're talking to robots. You do, clearly. Is this going to be the pirate software of wargaming? 7 years at Blizzard Pro? Maybe.
This is on tabletop games design. As I worked on Warhammer specifically, you can expect a lot of videos on Warhammer, but more than that, I want the focus of this channel to be on wider tabletop gaming and the design and mechanics that go into it. So I'm talking about other miniature war games, role-playing games, card games, board games, things like that. To begin with, I plan to do a few videos that look back on my career at Games Workshop, specifically looking into the games that I was the lead designer for. As this video goes live, there is another one on the channel, a longer one. In that video, I explore Age of
Broken
Sigmar,
talk. He has the old NDA. Fuck me.
Spearhead, which I was the lead designer for. So if you're interested in Warhammer or tabletop games design, go check that out. As well as doing videos dissecting my own designs, I plan to do a few videos that are wider conversation pieces about Warhammer. I started playing Warhammer back with 2nd edition 40k back in 1996, and I'm a really big fan of the older games and the older editions. So I'd love to do some videos that delve deep into those older games, older editions, explore some of their mechanics and what I think makes them fun. I think it would also be interesting to compare them to the modern games, both to see what has improved over the years, but also what are some neat mechanics that we've forgotten about. I will say quickly as well, on all of my videos about Warhammer, the tone will be positive. As the channel's focus is tabletop games design, I will be critiquing the games design of Warhammer games from time to time, but my time in the studio and the people that I got to work with is something that I look back on very, very, very fondly. So if you are a fan of Warhammer, if Warhammer is something you love, this is the channel for you. Once I'm a bit more confident making videos, I would love to do some deep dives into games design mechanics, looking at the core of them, seeing how they work, what are their pros, what are their cons, and how they can be employed in a variety of situations. I also have some of my own games in the works. Even though I've moved to the other side of the world now, I live in South Korea, I cannot help but tinker away on my own designs.
Bro left the country, then started a YouTube channel. Bro lives in South Korea, and now he's making videos about working at Games Workshop. Bro's smart. He was like, lawyer this, and moved. What a beast. That's pretty funny. This would only be better if it was done on a train. Surely his work on that stuff is under some kind of NDA. Yeah, it depends what he gets into, right? He has done a video about Spearhead. It depends what he gets into, but yeah, I imagine leak. If he says too much, then yeah, he probably won't be quite very happy with it. This is like we've not really had like a game designer do. We've had like people like Gav Thorpe and Andy Chambers do bits and bobs, but nothing crazy, you know. Nothing crazy. Not in Korea, it isn't. What in Korea? It's South Korea as well, don't forget.
And this channel will be a great place to showcase them with development blocks and things like that. I do have a first game that I'm just putting the finishing touches to. As you might be able to guess, it is a narrative skirmish miniatures war game in a similar vein to Mordheim or Warcry. It of course uses my own IP. Once the beta rules are finished, I plan to release them for free, so please look forward to that. Alright, that's it for this video. As mentioned, this is just a shorter one to introduce myself and the channel.
Okay, so he's done a video about how I designed Warhammer's newest small format game. He's done a video about Spearhead. So, they're going to send the Romanian warehouse gangs after him in Korea.
Hi everyone, Sam here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The channel is called SPGD and it focuses on tabletop games design. In this video, we're going to do a deep dive into Spearhead for Age of Sigmar, which is a game I designed while I worked at Games Workshop. See you after the jump.
He designed, not helped design. Interesting.
Okay, so up until about 6 months ago, I was working in the design studio at Games Workshop. I worked there for around 7.5 years, predominantly as a games designer. As you might imagine,
Do you imagine he just fucking copied and pasted the clip from the first video for this instant?
was tons and tons of fun. This video is the first in a series where I plan to look back at some of the games that I worked on while I was in the studio, and in this video it's going to be Age of Sigmar Spearhead. As the focus of this channel is games design, we're going to be looking at the rules and the mechanics of Spearhead first and foremost, and we're not really going to be exploring the other areas like background, miniature design, product design, things like that, unless it has some sort of impact on the game's design. Also, I mentioned this in my intro video, but I think it's worthwhile saying again here. While I will be critiquing the game's design of various Warhammer games in my videos, in this video, Spearhead, I love Warhammer in all of its guises, and I look back on my time in the studio very, very fondly. So overall, this channel is going to be a place that celebrates Warhammer, and it's going to be very...
They're all the same clips. Whereas, like, I'm not going to be critiquing, but I do love Warhammer, and then plays the same three clips over and over. Look at me enjoying myself.
very positive in tone. Basically, if you love Warhammer, this is the right place to be. So for Spearhead, while I certainly think it has some flaws, overall it is a design that I'm very, very proud of. When you're working in a studio as a games designer, just because you believe in a design doesn't necessarily mean the wider community are going to adopt it or it's going to resonate with them in the same way. But as soon as I started seeing thumbnails like this one, I knew that the reaction was going to be a good one. This thumbnail in particular really made me laugh. Like, I get the joke. The rules are
no mention of Street Hammer, you know? No mention of the literally best, most well-known Spearhead tournament on the planet.
Writers at Games Workshop are all meant to be terrible at their jobs. And a quick shout out to Jay and Eons of Battle. I really like your guys' content. Spearhead released alongside 4th edition Age of Sigmar last summer, and it is the new small format quick gameplay mode, suitable for newbies, busy dads, busy mums, players who want to collect many smaller armies wide not deep, and for players who just want a quick game from time to time. So I led the design of Spearhead.
No shout out for Mikey. No, nothing. No mention of the most viewed Spearhead video on the platform. No mention of the most well-known Spearhead tournament on the planet. The real person who got snubbed? Big C. Spearhead champion.
Right from its initial prototyping through to its final release, and I designed many of its key elements, things like the boards, the cards, and so on.
How dare they? Yeah, like, how dare they? Snubbed. 8 of the most famous content creators in the UK. 7 of them actually turned up. And no mention. We did it. We did it first. What shows up when you search Spearhead? What shows up?
I didn't work on the expansion that's just come out.
I don't even show up, bro. Bro, don't even show up! YouTube, you're killing me! Yo, let's go! Let's go! Yo, let's go. There it is. There it is. Look at that.
On the expansion that's just come out for it. Okay, let's begin with a quick rundown of how Spearhead works and how it is different to regular Age of Sigmar. Spearhead is a game format for Age of Sigmar 4th edition, and by that I mean it takes the core rules of the game and adds on some extra features to make a tailored experience. And that tailored experience is one for battles small in size and quick to play. It caters for beginners especially, but should be enjoyable no matter your experience or skill level. It has a number of differences to regular Age of Sigmar, and the first comes with army selection. Each player commands an army in battle, much like the regular Age of Sigmar game, but the armies themselves are much smaller than a standard army, usually consisting of a single hero and 2 to 3 other units, rather than the dozen or so you would normally see.
So I will say, Spearhead, great game. Great game. Really fun, really enjoyable. It burns out way too quickly. The replayability is not there. because you can play games so fast, you can play multiple games in a day, they all start to feel very samey very quickly. So I think it's a great game. I think the core idea behind it's great. There's not enough variance in Spearhead because there's no list design. I think because they lose list design, there's less variance in the game. And because there's less variance in the game, it can feel very samey very quickly. Which is why it was like, oh, we're releasing a new mission pack for it. 12 months later was the dumbest thing they've ever done. They should have done it 6 months minimum, you know? 6 months minimum, like a new mission pack. And then just like have it in for 6 months. Spearhead is a fun game. I use it to force my non-wargaming friends to play wargames. Yeah, it's great for like beginners and stuff, for like people getting into Warhammer or getting in. It's essentially a big board game. It's great. It's really fun. But yeah, because there's less variance in list building, there's less variance in the game as well. It can become a bit rock paper scissors.
Addition, rather than building your own army from a vast selection of units, each faction in the game instead comes with predetermined army lists. For example, say I like the IDNF Deep King.
I like it said, like, yeah, Spearhead army is usually like 1 hero and 2 to 3 units, so it shows an army that's 1 hero with 7 units. It needs more customization for the factions, and some factions just kind of suck. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind too much about the fact there's not much list building. But yeah, there needs to be variance in other ways.
Morally grey sea elves with a combination of Atlantean and Cthulhu themes. Instead of picking any combination from the units they have available, I instead need to pick the units that are in their Spearhead army.
What about a Spearhead tournament on a train? Fuck me, genius.
These all happen to be sold in a bundle box together, go figure. Each of these sets comes with a full Spearhead force ready to play straight out of the box. Well, you do need to model and paint them, of course. Now onto the game itself. As mentioned before, Spearhead is based on the core rules of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which means most of the rules stay the same. Battles are fought between 2 players. They take it in turns to move, shoot and fight with their units in the same way as the regular game. And after the battle ends, which is 4 battle rounds in Spearhead or 4 turns each, whichever player has the most victory points is declared the winner. But there are some key differences to the battles as well. Firstly, it is fought on a special battlefield, just a quarter of the size of a regular Age of Sigmar battlefield. This battlefield measures only 30 inches by 22 inches in size. Furthermore, the battlefield is double-sided, with each side representing one of the different magical realms of Age of Sigmar's world.
One thing I did hate is the fucking Iron map with the objective half hanging off the board. I hated this so much. I was like, I understand the idea, but like, why have a capture zone and then have half of it hanging off the board but you can't grab it? You know? Like, come on. It annoyed me. Graphically, it annoyed me. Why is it not just like further across? Slightly further down or whatever? I wonder how much we constrained by the sales team in terms of what was in the Spearhead box. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's not really telling us anything yet.
With each side representing one of the different magical realms of Age of Sigmar's world. Here, one side represents
the bleeding crop marks on that one,
and the other actually the volatile realm of fire. The side of the battlefield you fight on will have an impact on that battle. Each side features a different configuration of stone daises, and these are the objectives that you fight over. You'll score up to 3 victory points at the end of your turn if you control 1, multiple, and more than your opponent. There are also 2 card decks used in Spearhead, and this is where the fun really begins. Firstly, there are the battle tactic cards.
I think if each zone, playing field, board or whatever had different battle tactic decks would make a huge difference. I think that'd help with the variance. It's the fact that it's only the twist deck that changes that is annoying.
Each player.
The fact that the objectives are a slightly different place makes no difference gameplay wise. Like, makes no difference. Your models move slightly different area of the board. That's it.
Has an identical deck of 12. You'll draw cards until you have a hand of 3 at the start of every round. The battle tactic cards have 2 parts to them. At the top is the battle tactic. This gives you a little mission to try and pull off in the battle, and at the end of your turn you can score any of them that are in your hand for which you have met the criteria. Alternatively, each card has an underside, the command ability. These are powerful boons you can use mid-game, and as your hand is hidden from your opponent, it can be quite the surprise, helping you turn the tide of battle or stay in the fight. However, it comes at a cost. Using a command ability burns the card, as I like to say, meaning you cannot score the victory point from its battle tactic on top. If you do...
What do you mean, like you like to say? You could have just wrote that into the rule. I wonder if they didn't want to use the term burn too aggressive in Games Workshop.
So, this means if you ever find yourself with a mission you cannot score, the command ability can help keep you in the game. However, at other times you have a difficult choice to make, using the command ability to strengthen your position but sacrificing potential victory points as you do so. I mentioned there are two decks. The second deck of cards are called the twist cards. These are themed to each side of the board, so you get one set for the realm of life and another for the realm of fire. And rather than being cards that the players draw, instead one card is drawn at the start of each round to add an environmental twist, such as healing rain or an exploding objective. Now, these cards call out something called the underdog. This is the player who has fewer victory points going into the round. These cards will often give the underdog a boost in some way or give them the choice in how the effect is applied. This means the twist cards have both an unpredictable nature to the game but also serve as a catch-up mechanic too. So Spearhead is far from the first attempt at a small format game. It's a long-standing tradition now, and there have been many of them over the years for Warhammer 40,000 and its fantasy equivalents. If you wanted to trace them all the way back, you could probably go as far as the Warband rules in Realm of Chaos, but that's probably a bit too far back, as that's before the flagship games Warhammer 40,000 and Fantasy Battle had become fully fledged games rather than rule sets.
Underdog rules? Nah, scrap them. Yeah, get rid. We don't need that in competitive Warhammer.
Probably trace back their origin to 40k in 40 minutes instead. 40k in 40 minutes first appeared in White Dwarf issue 274, released back.
Wait a minute. 40k in 40 minutes is a White Dwarf thing?
In October 2002. They were a set of rules developed by teacher Tim Eagling for his school club.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The biggest Battle Report channel on the platform also didn't come up with anything original. They also didn't come up with anything original. I thought that was their idea, 40k in 40 minutes. That was the whole point. It's a 40-minute video. No, they stole it from White Dwarf. Oh my god. No one's original. Oh.
And essentially they were a set of restrictions. If you were into the hobby at the time, I'm sure you will remember some of them. The points limit was
Where's my royalties, says Tim England. Yeah, literally. That's a huge scandal. Discourse, come on, get the video out. The play on tabletop scandal just got worse. Come on, off you go. To the camera. I get OBS open. Okay, honey. I understand the Haven Challenge cards in complaint motion scoring 15. No, 12. 12, because it only draws 4 turns.
400. You must include one troops choice. You are limited to just one HQ. No special characters or characters with more than 2 wounds. No units with a 2+ save characteristic, so no Terminators. And vehicles does not have a command characteristic of 33.
This is actually the rules that you had for the school tournaments that I used to play in. This is the school tournaments. Quite fun. But like, so you used to have like little shit. You couldn't take like captains or land raiders or anything, but it's 400 points. You took like fucking razorbacks and shit.
A characteristic of 33. Remember, this was when vehicles had different armor values on their front, their sides, and their rear, so you would add them all together and make sure it didn't exceed 33. Now, for its time, this was a really fun little rule set, and I think that's because it understood a core problem with playing Warhammer 40k at small points values and tried to address that problem. And that problem is regular games of 40k and Age of Sigmar and Fantasy just are not fun at smaller points values. And the heart of the problem lies with how the power of units and rules are scaled and how that breaks when the games are downsized. Both Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar have a standard army size of 2,000 points, and on average, a 2,000 point army contains around 10 units, and a unit can be anything from a Space Marine captain to an Empire battle wizard to a block of troops, say 10 Space Marines or 20 clan rats, all the way through to larger things like a tank, like a land raider, or monsters like a vampire lord on zombie dragon. When it comes to the more powerful powerful units such as monsters, tanks, special characters, and elite units like Terminators, well, they are prime targets in those larger games. And as such, they are built to weather the attacks of multiple enemy units before they can eventually be killed. They also dish out lots and lots of damage, so even if they are brought down quickly, they get to make an impact on the game. And this is important for making these units work in standard size battles. The problem is, when you downscale the size of the game, those units quickly become overbearing. I remember in the early days of Age of Sigmar looking at reports of 500-point battles being played online, and the winning list would usually be something like 2 units of direwolves led by a vampire lord on zombie dragon. The 2 units of direwolves would just be there as the battle line tax back in, say, 2nd edition, and they would be to stand on objectives, and the vampire lord...
Who's playing 500 points in 2nd edition? Well, I wonder where these are, like, I wonder what games he was watching. But yeah, it's fucking no-brainer. Bring Big Dragon in tiny game. Things can't kill Big Dragon fast enough. Had to find a way to stop 8 out of 10 kids just playing Calgar and his honor guard as the only non-starter set minis they had. Yeah, literally. Good times, good memories. That's how I got into Warhammer, playing that sort of format.
On zombie dragon, that itself would be enough to take on the entirety of the opponent's army, quickly overwhelm it, and just go on this massive killing spree. Not really very fun to face against. So the game is not fun when taken as is and simply played at smaller points values. Now this is a tricky problem for the growth of the game. The nature of the hobby means that players often start with small armies while they build up to a full-size game, so creating a good format has always been one of the design goals for the flagship games. So when designing a small format game mode for a game like Warhammer...
And they did fuck it with Combat Patrol, because it is shit. They did fuck it with Combat Patrol. It's awful. It's so shit. It's so bad. There's just no substance to it whatsoever. Compared to like Spearhead, there's zero substance.
40,000 or Age of Sigmar, you need to think about this issue and how to solve it. For 40k in 40 minutes, the solution was through list building restrictions, essentially banning a lot of units from the game. Now, when Spearhead was first planned out, a core aspect from the start was going to be the complete forces contained within the box sets. Something like this isn't decided by the games designer, but by the product developer, who is thinking about the overall strategy of the game and the customer experience. I'm sure you can agree that being able to say to any new player, pick any of these boxes, it has everything you need to play inside and will give you a good engaging battle against any of these other boxes, is a very, very powerful message. It did mean, however...
It was good. It was good. I think the lists, like I said, it just needs some more variants, but I think the list building is just buy a box and play is really good. Especially because a lot of the Spearheads come with very common units. You don't actually specifically have to go and buy a box. If you want to play, you probably have a lot of it already. Board and action seems cool though. Now, yeah, but it's very different to 40k, and you need a lot of terrain. That's the problem. It's like the barrier to entry with board and actions is terrain, because you need so many walls and shit. Don't know what he's on about. Peak 40k was 5th edition, 1,000 points being 2 min scout, striker, turn me chaplain, 10 turns that can move, run and charge in the same turn. Yeah, exactly. Perfectly balanced. On a 2x2 as well, right?
However, that when we came to designing Spearhead, we couldn't rely on our old tricks of using list building restrictions to help and try balance out the small format. So this is where I turned to something called negative feedback loops to try and balance the game. Okay, so what are feedback loops? Well, before I give my own explanation, I will give a quick shout out to another games design channel that I am a big fan of, and that is Mark Brown's Game Maker's Toolkit, or GMTK. He has an excellent video on feedback loops, and while the channel is focused on video games design, the lessons can be applied equally to tabletop games design. Indeed, it was his video that helped me contextualize them, so check out his video and channel after you have finished watching this video, link in the description below. So, feedback loops exist in all games. Sometimes they occur naturally out of its core mechanics, and sometimes they are deliberate systems added to a game. Simply put, a feedback loop refers to any situation where the output goes on to inform the input. For example, in 40k or Age of Sigmar, unit destruction is a naturally occurring feedback loop. On your turn, if you manage to destroy a significant amount of your opponent's units, on their turn, they will have less firepower to retaliate with, meaning you take fewer losses in return, and then back on your next turn, you will be able to deal a stronger counterattack once more. So here the feedback loop compounds the situation, putting one player into what is commonly referred to as a death spiral. Another example, this time of a deliberate feedback loop, is the glory mechanic in Warhammer Underworlds. You earn glory for completing objectives and killing your opponent's fighters. This glory is a currency you can use to spend on upgrading your fighters mid-battle. Now, spending glory doesn't reduce your total. Every glory point should be spent if you can. This system creates a satisfying play loop that rewards players trying to score early and capitalize upon it. Feedback loops can be characterized in...
Isn't that also just fucking win more mechanics? You know, I'm winning so I get stronger stuff. Isn't that also a feedback loop, but not necessarily a good one?
Into two different types: positive feedback loops and negative feedback loops. Positive feedback loops are when a success in a game leads to more successes, or when a failure leads to more failures. This means both death spirals and win more situations are positive feedback loops.
I didn't pre-watch this, I promise.
Loops. Now, it's important to stress that positive feedback loops are not inherently good or bad. It depends on the situation. So on the one hand, while it can be frustrating for a player to get caught in a death spiral, they can also reward skilled play in a way that is very satisfying. Furthermore, they are very good at bringing a game to a decisive end. As soon as one player takes the lead, they're able to build upon that victory, compound it, and win the game. So what about negative feedback loops? Negative feedback loops, on the other hand, seek to undermine successes or help balance out failures. As Mark Brown puts it in his video, negative feedback loops strive to counteract changes and always keep things in equilibrium. The example...
God, maybe the challenger cards were negative on the game. Maybe challenger cards were negative in Warhammer.
Everyone uses is Mario Kart, more specifically the power-up distribution. In Mario Kart, the closer you are to first place, the worse the items you receive become, whereas the most powerful items, such as the blue shell, are only...
I always use this analogy when talking about games. It's like, it's the Bungie effect as well with the computers. It's like, in Mario Kart, when you're racing against computers especially, and why it feels so different online to compared to like NPCs, is that when you are in first... everyone else gets a little faster, and then when you're in last, everyone else gets a little bit slower. It's not only power-ups, which is obviously quite a crucial one, and one that's very noticeable. Like, if you're in first place, you get banana skins. If you're in last place, you get fucking bullet bills and shit. But actually, the NPC's car speed changes as you play. The further you are in front, the faster they get, so they can try and keep up to make it a game, rather than it being a whitewash every time. So, yeah, it's definitely a good analogy.
Handed out to players near the back of the pack. You can find these in tabletop wargames too. For example, the original Necromunda game in 1995 rewarded weaker gangs during the campaign with bonus experience and bonus credits in the form of the underdog bonus and the giant killer bonus. In addition, the more powerful and numerous a gang became, the fewer credits it would receive from its income due to the tax table. You can find them across all games, in fact, even hiding in unlikely places. For example, Monopoly, the game seemingly built on nothing but positive feedback loops, has this little blue shell hiding in its community chest, the housing repairs. As with positive feedback loops, negative feedback loops are not inherently good or bad. It again depends on the situation, and they have pros and cons. On the one hand, they can stop runaway leaders, but on the other hand, they can drag out and prolong a game, denying it of a satisfying conclusion. Additionally, while they can help keep lower skilled players in the game, sometimes more skilled players can feel robbed of their victories by the mechanics. Lastly, they can promote some really weird behaviors sometimes. If the incentives are too strong, you might find players deliberately trying to lose the game, especially in the early stages, so that they can secure some sort of power-up to use in the later stages. Ultimately,
oh god, they're just gonna use this as challenger card hate ammunition. They're just gonna be like, see, the game designer said there's a negative feedback loop, which is gonna make people want to draw challenger cards and then win the game later. Not the selling content problem, ignore that. It's not an issue, clearly. Oh, not again. Not again. If you put all of this logic to challenger cards, it's like, fuck.
Ultimately, I decided that negative feedback loops would be the best tool for Spearhead, and that's because, despite their weaknesses, they offered the following. Firstly, they would ensure the game is better for newer players and for players of varying skill levels facing each other, because it wouldn't compound successes with more successes and it wouldn't compound failures with more failures. This means if there are some natural advantages one side has over the other due to the asymmetry, negative feedback loops can help mitigate them. It would make the game much less punishing on mistakes. Secondly, because negative feedback loops always strive to keep the equilibrium, they can be used as a tool for balancing the game. It's on that second point where you can see how positive feedback loops and negative feedback loops fundamentally differ. Positive feedback loops, by their very nature, unbalance a game as the game pans out. They do this by compounding the successes and compounding the failures. Negative feedback loops, on the other hand, because they keep both losers and winners in check and they always strive for the equilibrium, they can be used as a tool to help balance a game. This was crucial for Spearhead because a big part of the game's structure are these predetermined armies, and we were not able to use points in army building to help balance them like we normally would. So what are the negative feedback loops that I used in Spearhead?
What was it with today with watching guys with boring voices? Bro, I can't help that I have the most interesting voice on YouTube, you know what I mean? I have the most interesting, most subtle, most relaxing but energizing voice on the platform. I am trying my best to fill in. But people fucking monotone, especially wargamers. They think monotone is clever. He's we the bad guy. Thanks for the team, Jens. I appreciate it. No, challenger cards are good. I'm still sticking by it. You forgot most humble. I am the most humble as well. Don't forget. True.
Well, the most obvious one are the twist cards and the underdog system, but these aren't the only negative feedback loops. In the end, I tried to squeeze them in wherever I could, and I'll pick out some of the not so obvious ones in a moment. To talk about the twist cards quickly, they give the underdog a very specific bonus in most cases, and that means this is a very overt negative feedback loop. With these sorts of negative feedback loops, I think it's important that there is a random element to them, much like the power-ups in Mario Kart. Because the twist cards are randomly drawn, you can never rely...
I do love that what it feels like is the entirety of like the game design is based around Mario Kart. The entirety of the thought process around the game design of Spearhead is like, look guys, just like in Mario Kart, this is what would happen.
On exactly which one you're going to receive. That's also why there are more twist cards than there are turns in the game, to keep players guessing right through to the end. Now, I didn't keep tabs on competitive 40k in 4th edition, as I had already moved over to the 40k team by the time it came out. I do remember the first season, the General's Handbook, there were specific bonuses for the...
Bro, he made challenger cards. He was in the 40k team. He literally designed challenger cards. Oh my god, this might be the full circle.
Underdog tied to each battle plan. I remember at the time my worry was that this would encourage players to deliberately try and seek those bonuses. It would encourage them to play strangely, trying to lose. I'll be interested in knowing how that panned out. So if you played that first season, let me know in the comments below. The second negative feedback loop is the battle tactics / command abilities. The fact that you cannot use them and score victory points generally means players caught in a bad situation can use the commands to get back into...
So not only did they remove challenger cards, they fired the guy who made them. I think he left on his own free will, actually. He didn't get fired, but...
the game, while those winning are doing so by scoring points from the tactics and not using the command abilities themselves. As with twist cards, adding a random nature to these by making them cards you draw instead of options you can simply pick, again, helps keep the game a bit more casual and beginner friendly by lowering the overall skill ceiling. Another negative feedback loop to call out is the reinforcement system. Certain units are marked as reinforcements and can return to the battlefield as a fresh unit after being destroyed. Firstly, we were able to apply this in a selective way, only making weaker forces have units that are reinforcements to begin with. But it also works as a natural negative feedback loop because once the battle is underway, you only get to bring back a fresh unit if the first one has been destroyed in the first place. Okay, so here I've shown how we employed negative feedback loops in many different places inside Spearhead to use as a tool to balance the game. But there are lots of inherent positive feedback loops inside Warhammer Age of Sigmar and inside Spearhead. So the other side of the game's design was set about trying to mitigate those positive feedback loops as much as possible. I mentioned this at the start of the video, but the big Warhammer battle games, so Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar, because of the amounts of units that you have on the board and the I go, you go turn structure, so one player getting
Loves a turn-based transition. I think it's quite subtle because it's a game designer. It's like a rule book, you know what I mean? I would never, but like he's like a game designer. He represents the turning the page of a chapter in a rule book. It's cute.
Activate all of their units followed by their opponent activating with theirs. This has an inbuilt positive feedback loop, which is the unit destruction. If you're able to destroy a large amount of your opponent's force in your turn, they have much less to retaliate with, meaning that more of your force survives intact, and then going into the next turn you're able to punish them even further. In actual fact, it's a little bit worse than that as well, because it's amplified by the objectives. In Age of Sigmar, when you destroy an opponent's unit, you often do so on the objectives. So not only do they lose the firepower to retaliate with, you are standing on the objectives and they are off. So for this reason, many of the battle tactics in Age of Sigmar Spearhead are actually designed in a way to promote you not fighting. They're encouraging you to disengage from your opponent, to retreat or go somewhere else on the battlefield. Now, Warhammer games are games about brutal warfare. They're not games about rainbows and friendship. So you need to tread really, really carefully here. But we were able to frame these.
Yeah, but people hate it, you know what I mean? Like, secondaries in 40k is the same, is that people get mad because it's like, I'm a World Eater's army, why do I have to stand in the middle and do an action? But it's like, yeah, it's it's promote diverse play rather than just walking forward and killing everything. But, yeah, it's like, it's kind of like the same thing here, and you can apply it to everywhere. It's like, why do I have to cleanse? Why do I have to behind enemy lines? Why do I have to fucking sabotage? It's like, you know what I mean? It promotes, rather than just walking through and just tabling your opponent to win, it promotes like gameplay. It promotes like diverse gameplay. And then when people complain about it, it just makes me think that you have like 4 brain cells and you don't realize why they're doing it. You know, why do you draw cards that are not just killing? Because if it was just killing, all you'd do is just build armies that ran forward and killed shit and then didn't do anything else, and then you just win. Well, it's not fun.
These cards, so it still sounded like your units were doing something Warhammery, even though they weren't fighting. So for example, Raid. With this card, a unit needs to be in enemy territory but not in combat, the idea being that they are looting and pillaging. Another example is this card, Take Without Warning. Here you need to capture an enemy objective without fighting over it, but it's framed in a way to make it seem like you've unleashed this cunning surprise plan upon your opponent. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's video. Now there are certainly more things I could talk about with regards to Spearhead, but I didn't want the video to get too long. And I thought looking at this idea of feedback loops, of positive feedback loops and negative feedback loops, was hopefully an interesting one and gave you a bit of insight not only into how Spearhead was designed, but how it attempts to solve some of the problems that plague small format games. Ultimately, I think how successful Spearhead was at fixing those problems is something I'll leave up to you guys to decide. But I will say I think Spearhead has been the most well received of our small format games in recent times, and that's
our you don't wear that anymore, bro. Little bro don't wear that anymore.
Proud of. And I would say a big reason to its popularity is how it utilizes
Street Hammer, the most successful Spearhead tournament ever on the platform, and a tier list to show which is the most important ones to buy.
Feedback loops, how it tries to put negative feedback loops in wherever possible and also mitigate positive feedback loops. And that's not because negative feedback
Not one mention!
loops are bad and positive feedback loops are good. It's because in the context of Spearhead, it was best served by maximizing those negative feedback loops. Spearhead is an asymmetrical game that doesn't have any army building or any points. So the negative feedback loops were a great tool at being able to add balance into a game that otherwise wouldn't have any. And combining this with mitigating positive feedback loops wherever possible helped keep the game casual and beginner friendly because it allows 2 players of varying skill levels level to face off against each other and have a close match. Usually spearhead battles are decided in the final round. That's definitely not to say the game is perfect and without flaws, because that's not the case at all. While it tries to have this robust system that can cater for any of the spearhead forces within it, there are times when it's still been pushed to breaking point. The ogre Moor tribes have had to have an errata to tone them down, and on the flip side, to this day, I still regret how weak the Cities of Sigmar one became in its final draft. But if you have played Spearhead, I would love to know your experiences with it, so let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear feedback on this video too. I tried to make it as informative and as useful as I could for anybody looking to get into tabletop games design, but I also hope it was an interesting watch if you're just a keen Warhammer player, you're into Age of Sigmar, you're into Spearhead. If there were any other elements or things that you wish I'd spoken more of, please let me know. All right, I'll be back for...
There you go. Go and give him some good negative feedback loops. Some nice negative feedback loops. But yeah, interesting video. Definitely an interesting video. I think Spearhead's a great game. It does come with its flaws, but I liked the idea. I like the idea of how the twists and the commands and the battle tactics actually generate balance over the traditional make army cheap equal strong. You know what I mean? Make army cheap equal expensive, but also strong because you have so much. It's always like the way Games Workshop do it is like a lot of the time. You see it with like AdMech, you see it with well, AdMech is like the most obvious one, but you see it with like tyranids, you see it with G-Circles. It's like, okay, all these units are really shit and they don't synergize very well, so how are we going to make them better? Just fucking make them cheaper and give people like another 500 points, you know? And it's never like an interesting way. I think the most interesting way, which is again, the interesting way that they did it really well for a little bit until they went too far, was the end of 9th edition with secondaries, because secondaries were chosen by you at the start of the game. You chose 3, very ITC. But then they started introducing faction-specific secondaries, and then it was like, there was like some like Necrons were a prime example of they didn't have to kill anything, they just kind of walked onto objectives and stood still, didn't do much, didn't have to engage the enemy and scored 100 points every time. They've definitely gone too far with that aspect, but I thought that was the most interesting aspect of like using the way that an army plays the game in a way to balance the army compared to just making the army stronger or making it more resilient or giving you more stuff is a way more interesting way to doing it than just like giving you more shit, you know? Because I think giving people more stuff feels good at the time, but then later down the line, like with Leagues of Votann and AdMech, it's just like to play the army now, you need to buy so much, which is just not fun. It's just not fun to get into. When you're already in it, you're already invested, you're adding a little bit more, it's really fun. But it's like having to buy that much new to start the army because it's now good or it looks fun or you just want to get into it. It's annoying, disappointing. I think there's better ways to balance armies rather than just rules change. It's like how the army functions on the tabletop and how it goes to win a game is way more interesting than just going, yeah, you get more shit now. So good video. So go subscribe to SPGD. Great video, really interesting, really fascinating. Talk about like feedback loops and stuff like that. And yeah, definitely I'll have to check out that Mark Brown because I've not heard of them before.
Hey, Mark here. Over Christmas I played.
So yeah, good video. If you want to go watch, I'll leave a link. I'll give you a link now. If you want to go subscribe. Seems like an interesting dude with a lot of stuff behind him, a lot of interesting thoughts behind, like, especially because it's kind of like a little bit of insider, a little bit of behind the scenes, but not really, but like just enough to get like some interesting bits. I mean, the only downside is most 20 minutes of this video, 10 minutes was explaining what Spearhead was, and I already know because I'm one of the most professional Spearhead players on the platform. But yeah. I wish there was more behind-the-scenes content released in GW. Yeah, it's a shame that to release behind-the-scenes content, the guy had to move to Korea. He had to move to South Korea to be able to not get sued by Games Workshop for releasing a video that was mostly positive. But yeah, they're just like, I think since the drama with like What's his name? Oh, what's he called? Matt what? He wrote Ultramarines and Necrons and Grey Knights to be extremely broken. I keep thinking Matt Berry. It's not Matt Berry. Oh, what's his name? Ever since he got all the hate. Matt Ward, thank you. I just like fucking written that name out of my brain. Ever since like the Matt Ward shit, it's like I think they're not overly protective to protect the staff. They're just overly protective to just like not give any ammunition. It feels like, which I don't think's right. I do think it's very dumb, but I do think that is like a part of it, you know. But yeah, Matt Ward, that's the one. That's the one. I'll never forget his breaking 40k. Yeah, exactly. And now look, you don't know who wrote a codex anymore. You know? It doesn't say who wrote it. It's Warhammer Studio. You can't be mad at Warhammer Studio. You can't be mad at Matt Ward or Phil Kelly or Sam Pearson or whatever, for example. So... Anyway, chat, I've learned a hack. Watch me. I've learned a hack. I put out a short yesterday, right? Oh, I'm not logged in on here. Can I look anyway? I've learned a hack. I put out a short yesterday, right? Look at me. My name's Mikey. I'm using panel liner. I'm on a different browser, so I don't know if he's going to let me go it. That's so funny. That's so funny. If you search Instagram Hellstormwargaming, it just says Warhammer guy. That's mint. That's so good. I am the Warhammer guy. It's because it says Hellstormwargaming line Warhammer guy. I like that. I like that a lot because I am the Warhammer guy. Can I not look at... I can't look at views? Because I'm not logged in? Chat, I put out a fucking Instagram reel yesterday. Look at me, fancy... I can't watch it. It's got 55,000 views on Instagram. Absolutely fucking nutso. On TikTok, it's got similar. I put it out, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't use Facebook, like, ever, right? I'll scroll, I'll check messages, etc. But I just don't use it. I don't care about Facebook. I'm like, I'm a boomer for Facebook. I should be prime target for it. Don't use it. Anyway, I realized I haven't uploaded any, like, any video content, because they have reels on Facebook now for years. This is all, like, extremely old, you know what I mean? I can't look at this either. Oh, I hate it. You have to log into everything. Just let me look at stuff. I actually can't get out of this now. 10k of those views would be forget to back out the video. I'm not even asked. I'm not even bothered. I put it on Facebook. 153,000 views in less than a day. I put it out yesterday at 3 o'clock. What's going on Facebook? What's going on? Look, 500 views, 300 views, 400, 600. Bear in mind, this was uploaded at the beginning of the year, 3rd of March. This is the last time Games Workshop sent me a 40k product to review. 153,000. What the fucking shit, bro? Who's on Facebook watching reels? It's a great video, though. Oh, this is ASMR, you know what I mean? Wow. Wow, that's what I say. Let's watch it again. I'm joking. But, like, yeah, like, Mikey's the biggest Warhammer creator on Facebook. He just doesn't use it. Like, what the actual shit is going on? I think there's something weird going on. I think Facebook are desperate to people to stay on the platform and not go to Instagram. So now they're like, just fucking look at reels. Just look at Facebook Reels. Because this isn't related to the Instagram one, because it's posted separately. Like you see, I post loads of Reels. Ah! Let me out! Just let me look at something. I post loads of Reels, but they get shared to my personal Facebook for some reason. I think it's because I used to have Instagram as a business account, and it meant I couldn't use music, so I turned it to a creator account, and it's linked to like my personal Facebook. But then my Hellstorm Facebook page is like just been fucking left by the wayside. But it's just like, yeah, I posted this video on the other day, 3 likes. I'm gonna fucking lose my shit in a minute. I'm just trying to scroll. I'm trying to use a different browser because I don't get doxed, and it's like you can't use anything unless you're logged in. And then if you're logged in, it just doxes you! Anyway. Look, I don't want to see all this. Gonna close. There we go. Like, I just don't post anything on here. I reshare some stuff, and like mostly about events. I sometimes post about videos, but hardly. Like I post like we're holding our latest edition thing, no likes. So I just don't post. It's just a dead fucking thing. This box is for Horus Heresy, no likes. 1 like, 28th of June. Awesome. Did the same in Thousand Suns. You know, like it just doesn't get any interaction. This is a dead platform, so I just don't use it. And then I post one video. I post one video of me using some panel liner, and it's like 150,000 views. Like something weird's going on at Facebook. That's not right. That can't be right, bro. It can't be right whatsoever. Look at these old reels though. What's going on here? It's a silent video of me packing models. Nice. Why did I upload this? Anyone know? Why did I upload this? The only person I know that uses Facebook is Jamante. Keeps sending me links I can't access. Keeps might have happened twice. Yeah, it's just so weird. No likes on any post. I post one reel, it gets 150,000 views. Nah, that's not right. Oh, that's when I had a power cut and I was painting. I should take this on a train. I was using my phone as a light because it was because I had a power cut. This would be really good on a train, I reckon. What is Tom doing, bro? Oh, the audio has been taken out. Why did I upload this? Look at the fucking blue tack. Lockdown was a crazy time, wasn't it?
Hey, let's everyone pose. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Let's go gamers.
Let's go gamers.
3, 2, 1. Let's go gamers. It's a video.
Classic. When was this? Where does it say? 3 years ago. In Gibraltar. You embrace the cringe, be proud. Yeah. Why was I wearing a mask? Outside? These ones always do well, like rubbing shit out. They always do well for some reason. How weird. Right, okay. Weird shit on Facebook anyway. So yeah, fucking I'm gonna upload loads of reels to Facebook and get millions of views, it turns out. It turns out I'm actually a Facebook creator, not a YouTube creator. Because it did alright on YouTube. It's got like 15k, I think. 14,000 views. Like hell yeah, dude. But then on fucking Facebook 153k. What the shit is happening? Wild. Hey. Where's the goon video? Nice. Nailed it. Great job, mate. Great job. I've shifted entirely to Pinterest because it just feeds me cool miniatures. I don't use Pinterest. I always, not to be sexist, I always thought it was girl platform, you know what I mean? And I just never got into it. Not to sound sexist, I do not think that now, but it's always what I like put it down to, why I never got into it. And now I'm just too far gone. Now I'm too late, you know? Now I'm too late to the party. But I'm uploading my Instagram reels and it gets 130k views, and I go to Insights and 120k views on Facebook. Actually, am I just double posting? Because it's never posted on my actual page. It's always posted on my personal one. Let me look at Insights. No, shout out to the 4.8% of women who watch me, by the way, on the old Insta. How do I look? I thought Facebook and Insta were linked. I've got no idea how it works. I don't know how to look. Insights. It just says 70,000 views. Or is that just linked to what my actual personal post though? You know? Because my personal post. Let me look. Because when I post an Instagram reel, it goes to my actual just Facebook page that I don't use. That's got 894 views. So surely it means that, right? Wrong account connected. Maybe. Maybe. But that the one on Facebook, that is, I re-uploaded it. It's a separate post. So
if
YouTube,
you're a small content creator, use this sound.
Nope. YouTubers, if you're watching and you make reels and stuff, just bang them on YouTube, on Facebook as well. There's your hack. Thank me later. You need 10,000 followers to monetize it though, so I'm not there yet. But yeah, I just thought it was weird. I just thought it was like, what the fuck? It's like 40k on Instagram. How's it got on TikTok? But that's the problem. I can't monetize this either. 40,000 on TikTok, 45,000 on Instagram, 150 on fucking Facebook, and then another 15 on YouTube. Absolutely wild. Weird. Very weird. Anyway, chat. I might have to go because I've been trying to paint my knights for a video, and they are fucking nowhere near done. They're nowhere near done, so I might have to go. I'm monetizing Facebook, and all these companies are seeing tens of cents of earnings with false copyright claims. I mean, every platform ever, right? Every platform. But yeah, I'll show you what it looks like now with the panel line. And if you did see the reel, I'm obviously working on some Imperial Knight. Oof. Look at that bad boy. Now it's been matte varnished and cleaned up. Oh, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Such a lovely blue. Ah, damn. Can I remember the name of the house? Homework for today. But yeah, it's just blue, and then lighter blue, and then I've sprayed the recesses with Drakenhof Nightshade, and then pin washed it. And it looks fucking sick, I think. I mean, it looks really good. But I need to go paint it. And the other ones, because I'm not doing one night, I'm doing 5. I was like, I could do this in a weekend, time-wise. I could do this in 48 hours. And I've not spent 48 hours. But I'm just trying to find the 48 hours to actually do it. Airbrush, yeah, of course. Of course. Well, airbrushed and then pin washed. You know what I mean? Only 5, yeah. 5 nights all at once. Because everyone's done, can I do 1 night in 24 hours? Bro is doing, can I do 5 nights in 48? 3 and 2 wargames. 3 and 2 wargames. Christ, my time saved me 6 months. I think I spent about 9 hours so far. My pin wash looks really good. Yeah, that's good, doesn't it? It does look sick. It's worked really, really well. So all I've done is like pin wash it and then cleaned them up. Do them on a train. If I just flew to Barcelona and back like 6 times, that's enough time. That's 48 hours done. 1 trip to Barcelona on the train, that's like what, 5 Imperial Knight Army, 5 armies. 5 armies, why not? So, but yeah, you might be able to see just like as armor panel. I'll just move my chair out of the way. This gives my cup, but you can just see armor panels. Armor panel heaven. Just so many. There's so many armor panels I need to go work on. So I've been washed and varnished 1 night armor panel as the test, and I just need to finish spraying the other 5, and then pin wash all those, and then we're basically done. Don't forget to spill shit everywhere and use like. Just gonna mop up my mess. Just gonna mop up my mess now. Don't worry. So yeah, sorry it's a short stream today. There's like I'm supposedly fucking waiting for someone to come work on my roof, but no one has bothered turning up after I put all my shit outside. It's got piss wet through. So I need to deal with that in about 30 minutes. So rather than dragging the stream out and then making you wait, I'm gonna go paint for a little bit. So thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Definitely an interesting one today, that's for sure. But yeah. Guess I'll watch the game design guy. Well, we've just watched all of his videos, all 2 of them. So thanks so much for watching, chat. Really appreciate it. It was that I'll play some Dawn of War, and I'm up for Dawn of War today. So thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you on Friday. Hopefully my night army will be done, because I'll be playing them on stream. Appreciate you, and bye now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Bye. Bye. Bye now.